You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Firefighters were called to an early morning fire in Columbia County. A house caught fire around 5 this morning on the 300 block of East 2nd Street in Berwick, and numerous crews were called in to fight the flames during the windy conditions. 2 neighboring homes had to be evacuated as a precautionary measure, and the residents were allowed back in once the fire was extinguished. Officials say the same home caught fire last year while it was being remodeled. No injuries were reported, and a state police fire marshal was called in to investigate the cause of that fire in Berwick. A Hunlock Creek man has been charged in the fatal hit and run of a 7-year-old child. State police say that 36-year-old Robert Ball was allegedly driving on Bonneville Road in Huntington Township on March 5th of last year when he struck and killed Gabriel Beerley while he was out riding his bike. Ball was arrested today following a nearly 11-month investigation. He was charged with homicide by motor vehicle, reckless driving, and reckless endangerment. A Luzerne County woman will be heading to court for allegedly hitting a man with her car at a youth football game last year in Sugarloaf Township. 37-year-old Rochelle Zellers accused of running into a man at the Joe LaRock Recreation Field back on November 20th, following a fight involving over 100 people. The victim, Gary Chapin, sustained a swollen knee and a concussion. Zeller then left the scene, but police caught up with her later on at her Wilkes-Barre home. They noticed mud and scuff marks on the front of Zeller's Mercedes-Benz. She also allegedly had bloodstains on her pants and bloody knuckles. A Luzerne County judge ruled that Zeller will stand trial on aggravated assault charges come April 4th. In the meantime, she remains free on $25,000 bail. A Washington, D.C. based nonprofit group recently purchased the Sherman Hills apartment complex in Wilkes-Barre. Indelible Housing Incorporated bought the complex from New Jersey-based real estate investment firm Treetop Development back on February 9th. Indelible Housing plans to renovate the 344-unit low-income housing complex and are expected to spend $20 to $30 million to make improvements, such as installing new kitchens, doors, and windows. The nonprofit, which is exempt from paying taxes, said it'll make payments to Luzerne County and the Wilkes-Barre Area School District in lieu of taxes. There is no word at this time as to when the renovations will be completed. A former Luzerne County youth coach pled guilty to sexually assaulting several young girls. Joseph Rotowski was charged with indecent assault, aggravated assault, and corruption of minors for allegedly assaulting the girls between 1995 and 2005. He was found to be a violent sexual predator and sentenced to serve 8 to 16 years behind bars, followed by 3 years probation. He must also have no contact with the victims and register as a sex offender for life. A reward's being offered for information leading to the arrest of a Shenandoah burglary suspect. State police say the suspect broke into the Shenandoah Food Mart between 7:30 and 8 a.m. back on January 1st. The thief allegedly stole money and other miscellaneous items before exiting through the back door and fleeing on North Ferguson Street. Anyone with information about the robbery is being asked to call Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers at 1-800-4PA-8477. All calls will remain anonymous. A Stroudsburg man was arrested Thursday for the alleged torture of a victim in Iraq back in 2015. A grand jury charged 53-year-old Ross Roggio, who allegedly directed and participated in the systematic torture of an employee over the course of 39 days by Kurdish soldiers in Iraq. Ross allegedly suffocated the victim, threatened to cut their fingers off, and directed Kurdish soldiers to inflict other physical and mental pain. Roggio's company was also charged on a 37-count indictment in 2018 for illegally exporting firearms from the U.S. to Iraq. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 20 years in prison for the torture charges and a maximum 705 years for the remaining 37 counts. Natasha Milazzo was appointed as business manager for the Crestwood School District on Thursday. The school board decided to promote Milazzo to replace Peter Bard, who's leaving to become assistant to the superintendent at the Susquehanna School District. Milazzo served as business manager for the Weatherly Area School District prior to her being hired as a human resources specialist at Crestwood for $65,000 a year. Now, Milazzo will earn $82,000 a year with a board-approved 5-year contract starting on the iconic date of February 22nd or 2/22/22. The board continues to look for a superintendent to replace Bob Mahalik, who's leaving to become assistant to the superintendent at the Hazleton Area School District. Former President Donald Trump is set to answer questions under oath in the state of New York's civil investigation into his business practices. Trump and his 2 eldest children, Ivanka and Donald Jr., were subpoenaed back in December by New York State Attorney General Letitia James. A judge will also have them sit for depositions within 21 days and a 2-hour hearing with lawyers from both sides. According to AG James, her investigation uncovered evidence that Trump's company used fraudulent or misleading valuations of assets, like golf courses and skyscrapers, to get loans and tax benefits. The 8-page ruling is expected to be appealed. Otherwise, it could push the former president to plead his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, something he's criticized others for doing in the past. It's about that time of year again for your favorite local pork and sauerkraut fundraisers. So, WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker has more on what's on Trinity Lutheran's menu this year.
Trinity Lutheran Church in Hazleton will be holding their annual pork and sauerkraut dinner on Monday, February 21st. This year will be takeout only, and a mask is required to pick up orders from 4 to 7 p.m.
We invite the community to come out and patronize our pork and sauerkraut supper, and this has been, for many years we've had it, and anyhow, that'll be on Monday, February the 21st, pick up between 4 and 7.
There will be lots of food options at the dinner, such as
we're having sliced pork, sauerkraut, mashed potatoes, gravy, applesauce, green beans, roll, and butter, and we're going to have cookies for dessert.
All proceeds go toward the church, which is open to the community and for those who use it.
Our temperatures have been drastic this year, and it costs a lot to heat this building. We take up almost 3/4 of a city block, and it's an old stone building, and the heating costs are just tremendous here. So this helps us to pay those bills.
The church is not only used for religious services, it is where the Boys and Girl Scouts hold their meetings and also has a kindergarten nursery.
We are active within the community, and these fundraisers help us to upkeep this building and be able to provide a place for the community.
If you have not gotten your tickets yet for the pork and sauerkraut dinner, call 570-788-1333 or pick up your tickets before or after the Sunday's church service in the chapel. Reporting in Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Coming up on WYLN News, rails to trails repairs and possible extensions, plus your favorite furry friends of the week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
Trail repairs and an extension are in the works to gear up for the spring and summer season. The Greater Hazelton Area Civic Partnership will be investing about $20,000 in grants on trail repairs and are looking to secure additional funding. The board's honing in on the needed repairs along the Greater Hazelton Rails to Trails for all of the walkers, hikers, and bikers that continue to use the trail. They are also working with officials in Foster Township to potentially extend the trail towards Eckley Miners Village, but some residents raised concerns about its heavy usage. The board hopes to continue talks and keep the lines of communications open as they work to further promote and develop the trail. Unemployment compensation claimants can expect intermittent outages throughout the President's Day holiday weekend due to routine system maintenance. The Department of Labor and Industry is advising system users about the maintenance project beginning Saturday morning and ending Monday evening, which will limit public access to LNI's online and phone systems and potentially disrupt filing for weekly UC claims. If individuals discover that they can't during the holiday weekend, they still have the rest of the week to submit their weekly claims. Additional LNI staff will be working extended hours beginning Tuesday, February 22nd through Thursday the 24th to further assist users who may have been affected by the downtime. More information is available for claimants online at dli.pa.gov. If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present. So check out the SPCA of Luzerne County for all breeds, shapes, and sizes of pets. The shelter has some more furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Ladybug. She's incredibly sweet and loves spending time with people. She came in as a stray and is looking for love and a home of her own. And up next is Fisher, and he's the catch of the day in our book. He's a friendly, loving boy with a warm, soft coat and big, beautiful eyes. Call 570-825-4111 to come on down and check out these featured pets and more. You may just meet your new best friend and give them a well-deserved forever home. Coming up on Rolling Mill Hills News Choice, your week in review, plus leading the way into this week's final segment. Stay with us.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. Today we're talking about two therapies I do other than adjusting. I have a lot of different things I do in my practice. I went through my chiropractic boards, all four of them, to be a doctor and a chiropractor. I went through my PT board for chiropractic PT, so I can do all the things a PT does. And I went through my medical examiner board so that I could do medical exams in addition. But two of my favorite tools that assist with me in adjusting and taking care of patients is laser and electrical stim. A laser is just a red, very strong light. Ours is a grade 4 hot laser, and it is at such a wavelength that it encourages energy to be released, chemical energy to release from cells. And that energy is usually used for healing, but it can be used for anything that the body wants to use it for. And the stim makes muscles on a micro level waste a bunch of energy so that they calm down, stopping spasms and helping you to feel good.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Call 570-454-7571.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Moore & Associates, accountants and advisors located at 751 North Church Street in Hazleton. Contact them for all your individual and business tax and accounting needs. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renovate, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Monday. Authorities in Columbia County took a homicide suspect into custody over the weekend. Police in Berwick investigated the death of Frederick James McConnell that happened at 1542 Britton Street last Friday evening. As a result, 26-year-old Isaiah Scott Newton was arrested and charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault, and tampering with evidence. Berwick police were assisted by the Columbia County District Attorney's Office, State Police, and Briar Creek Township Police. Tuesday. A suspended Hazleton police officer is facing charges for detonating an explosive device that rocked Klein Township. 31-year-old Liddell Hannon was charged with attempted homicide after allegedly setting off an explosive in front of a Center Street apartment building just before 5:30 the morning of December 21st. Troopers confirmed through video surveillance that Hannon was walking toward Harrison Jordan's home carrying a bucket, then back toward his car with no bucket a short time later. The explosion could then be heard as Hannon drove away. Troopers also obtained a warrant and found GPS tracking devices both inside and outside of Hannon's estranged wife's car, concluding that he'd been tracking the two of them. Hannon's currently facing 22 charges that include attempted homicide, assault, weapons of mass destruction, and stalking to cause fear. He's been suspended without pay from his position with the Hazleton City Police Department. Wednesday. Hazleton City Authority crews have been busy responding to reports of leaking water lines and meters during a recent cold snap. Crews worked Saturday to repair an 8-inch water main that broke near Arthur Street and Morrison Circle after being alerted of the leak when a depression formed in a road near the intersection. Officials aren't sure how long the line was broken, but estimate that 200,000 gallons of water leaked per day. Since leaks have been on the uptick, staff's been monitoring the billing system for alerts of accounts that had water running for 24 consecutive hours. If an account is flagged for running water, authority staff must track down customers and notify them of a possible leak. Thursday. Another Luzerne County cold case has been opened up thanks to new technological advances and a partnership. PSP recently announced the continuation of its investigation into a 41-year-old cold case involving the homicide of baby boy John Doe, whose infant body was discovered by an employee at the now-defunct Westside Landfill in Larksville Borough back on August 6, 1980, mixed in with the trash. An autopsy determined that the full-term white male infant died within 2 hours of birth due to immediate neglect, while a second forensic opinion in 2000 held that the infant may have lived for several days. An attempt was made to identify the birth mother right at the start, but forensic options were not available at the time. State police have been working closely with the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office and have recently partnered with Othram Incorporated to gain further information on baby boy John Doe and his potential family members. These new technological advances gave authorities the chance to exhume the remains of baby boy John Doe to have them examined by the University of South Florida's Anthropology Unit. Any tips on this case can be submitted through Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers. Friday. Firefighters were called to an early morning fire in Columbia County. A house caught fire around 5 this morning in the 300 block of East 2nd Street in Berwick, and numerous crews were called in to fight the flames during the windy conditions. 2 neighboring homes had to be evacuated as a precautionary measure, and the residents were allowed back in once the fire was extinguished. Officials say the same home caught fire last year while it was being remodeled. No injuries were reported, and a state police fire marshal was called in to investigate the cause of that fire in Berwick. That's it for your week in review, here on Wyln News.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Skin tags are embarrassing, uncomfortable, and pop up everywhere. Well, now you can put an end to those ugly skin tags and remove them at home with Hempana N-Tag, the revolutionary skin tag remover. Simply brush it on and the skin tags fade away and fall off and stay off while the surrounding area stays nice and smooth. N-Tag works for all skin types and is gentle enough for sensitive areas, including your face and neck. And Hempana N-Tag is enriched with hemp seed oil for added moisture, plus all natural turmeric and aloe. So stop living with ugly, embarrassing skin tags. Get Hempana N-Tag with over 50 applications for only $29.99. But when you order now, you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll give you a full money-back guarantee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Order now.
Call 1-800-331-1639. Call or visit getntag.com. So call 1-800-331-1639. Order now.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Ms. Fabergé is leading the way to wrap up this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's final segment of Leading the Way with Ms. Fabergé. Ms. Fabergé, let's talk about the future.
Ooh.
What's in store?
Okay, first, I will never retire. That's number one. Fabergé Follies, as long as I can do it, I will continue to do it because that's what I like to do. I'm not worried about going on vacation to Europe. I'm not worried about retiring and golfing, although I do like to golf. So we will continue with Fabergé Follies. Additionally, I'm very excited because after 30 years, I've learned a lot. And I am a particular age. I'm old enough to have still been taught by the old vaudeville dancers. Anyone older than me is gone. I'm also young enough, I was a child of the 70s, that I got into the newer dance competitions. Hip hop came on the scene. I'm right at that cross section. And I learned a lot, and I'm starting to identify it and write books, workbooks, and go online to put my knowledge out there for other people.
Great, we look forward to that. What do you have advice for someone who's interested in pursuing a career such as yours?
The advice I would have would be This is only for someone for whom there is no other option. In other words, you don't decide, do I want to do that? If you're deciding, then don't do it. For myself, there was no other option. As I said earlier in the week, I did go to school, get my degree, but no, I had to return to the arts. If you are 100% sure that this is what you must do, then I'll share some advice that was given to me by a wonderful woman, Carla Perlow. I did an internship in Washington, D.C. She owned a place called the Dance Place. She was about 15 years older than I. I was 20, and she said to me, I found my way, now you have to find yours. I had no idea what she was talking about, but what she meant was, in the arts, it's tough. You have to find out what you are going to do in the arts to fulfill you and bring value to your life. For me, I love the dance school. But I didn't know what she meant, but that would be the main thing, that you have to find your way and you think long and hard before you choose to make a living in the arts. I would do it no other way. But in my next life, I might do something else.
Do your students reach out to you after they finish your
Yes.
classes and let you know how you've benefited them?
Yes. The Fabergé girls do come back and they give me a lot of support, and I like to hear it because then it makes me sure I'm on the right track, and I will continue to do this for the generations that are coming up now.
Well, I think you're definitely on the right track. You have
Thank
some
you.
great energy, and I love talking to you. We'd love to have you back here.
It was my
again.
pleasure. It was
Thank
fun.
you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us all week, and an even bigger thanks to our guest, Miss Fabergé, owner of Fabergé Follies Dance and Tumble, for coming in to chat with us. Have a great weekend, everyone. Best of luck, best of life. Good night.
Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.